Hello, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to another session of Zooming in on the Halal Metropolis. And here with me, we have Kamal Rahman, who's an activist and a politician in the Hamtramck area. He's involved in a lot of different things in Hamtramck and Detroit. So welcome, Kamal. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you. Glad to be
Yeah,
here.
good. Before we get into how things are going in Hamtramck and Detroit, I just wanted to check in with you and your family and see how you guys are doing.
Oh, lockdown. The kids are out of school. We're home, but my wife and I have to work. We're doing remote work, kind of managing the workload of the folks and making sure that everybody has something to do. And then we have a daily conference call to just to see touch base. And my wife, she has her classrooms that she has to monitor. Uh, from time to time. So our dining table has become a de facto, like we work kind of place.
Co-working space, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you have to be courteous with all your coworkers.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we close our doors so that cats and, no other interruptions. But yeah, that's how it's going. It's a different feeling,
Yeah.
working from home. But some ways it's effectiveness wise, I think it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're so involved in the community and so many different projects. How have some of these initiatives and organizations that you're involved in, how has some of your political and social life been affected by what's going on?
Well, the disconnection, of course, seeing people face to face and talking to them, and then that's not happening. Other than that, I mean, we're in touch with the phone calls and Facebook. So we're trying to keep in touch with people and then see how people are doing, if they need anything, any help, and then and a lot of people wanted to know about the stimulus package, how that affects them and everything. So I made a couple of videos, and I'm planning on doing another probably a Facebook Live soon. To help people out with their questions and unemployment related questions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that a lot of people are reaching out to you? A lot more people are reaching out to you right now because of the economic instability?
So some people did. Mostly they're trying to organize in their neighborhoods and even outside of the country too. So I am doing what I can, trying to connect the resources together. I let people know that there are free lunch. When school was open, they were distributing lunch to not just the kids, but their families and everything. So I told around the neighborhood that I felt those who might be needing this help, and also in around the Detroit area and other places. Some people reached out to me about financial assistance and then rental and everything. So I let them know about the rental. That few months the COVID-19 stimulus package prevents them from being evicted, and then so I let them know their rights and what's on the table for them, and then effect of it. And a lot of people, I know that some people want to send help to others, and so try to connect the dots. I received a call about 2 weeks ago. Somebody said that one of the young men was coughing up blood in Hamtramck, and then so I wasn't sure what to do, because I took my kids out to Belle Isle, and then I talked to a doctor, put him on the line, and then because I couldn't tell him what to do because I wasn't sure what that meant, and I didn't want them to be panicked. So connected the doctor with them, and then so few calls like that. People wanted to know what they should be doing and all that. Although I'm not a doctor, I just people don't know where to go, and then a lot of the time translation issue and all that. So we're doing our part, and then a lot of medical practitioners in the area also, they're stepping up and then trying to do as best as possible to help out the community.
Yeah, well, I think you're seen as a respected leader in the community, and so I think people are turning to people like yourself, for answers, for guidance, advice, and help. So I'm not surprised to hear that. And so one of the things that you're really involved is political organizing, and now being an election year, what do you think is going to happen in the Hamtramck community with trying to mobilize people to get out the vote and do some political organizing? It's going to be really challenging, I'm assuming.
So this being the census year,
And a census year, right? Yeah.
yeah, I think it came in a really bad time, right when, everybody was all up in arms and then trying to get everybody counted because of the last census experience and all that, and all of a sudden, stay-home order and everything. So it's kind of difficult for the organizers too, because especially people that are running for office and stuff too. Like, how do you, what do you put ahead of you, the safety of the people, or you're running for office? This is what is a lot of people are facing right now with the April 21st deadline to file um, for candidacy and all that. I know that's an issue. And then, some offices opened up in the area. Unfortunately, Isaac Robinson's seat, he
Yeah.
passed away, so his seat is open. So things like that is happening. So I think it's a catch-22 for people that are seeking office. Like, you tell people to be safe, and then you also want them to come out and sign and endorse you, and all these things happening. It's difficult, definitely. It's a balancing act, but I think people are trying to do as best as possible, and also looking out for the neighbors. It's all for the safety of the people. And I'm really worried about the census 2020,
Mm.
because people, in our area, it's difficult to convince people to send it because of the fear of, being immigrant community, and you know, uh, and then importance of census. I think that's what people needed to understand first. Um, and then all of a sudden, everybody is stuck. We can't even, go out, and of course, for the safety. Hopefully, they will do something about the census, timing wise and everything, to make up for the time lost, because it's definitely going to impact us next 10 years in a really
Mm-hmm.
negative way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's something that's hitting Hamtramck particularly hard. You mentioned Isaac. I know that you knew him. I'd met him a couple times, and I knew that he was such a well-respected, politician, and he's leaving a big gaping hole, vacuum, in terms of leadership, in the community. And so, hopefully, someone can step up and fill that position. But we're definitely seeing the effects of the virus hitting this community really hard. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure, because Isaac was really intimately involved with some issues that affect us really, really hard. One of them is U.S. ecology, for example. He was up
Yeah.
in arms about it. He was regularly meeting with people, organizing, letting people know why they should come out, and then, voice their concerns and everything. uh, and other issues that affect the area. And he was like a local man right there. You go anywhere, you could find him. So he's going to be replaceable, at least for the time being. That voice and experience that he brought to the community. Hopefully, we can find somebody to replace him. And then that's coming soon. I think August 4th is the primary, and then and I'm sure there are people who step up and
Yeah.
take his place.
But I think you've highlighted some really important points, that these communities, which are already so vulnerable around these social justice issues of environmental justice, political organizing, and the census, these things are so important. And I think especially for vulnerable communities and communities which have high rates of poverty, and large immigrant communities like Hamtramck, where a lot of these issues are very, very relevant, and they're going to affect the future of these communities as well. Unfortunately, we're seeing an uptick in cases in Hamtramck, and of course in Detroit, which is being hit really, really hard, as well. And so it's really hard to watch, because these are high poverty, minority majority communities, which are already struggling with lots of issues. And so on top of that, now we're being hit so hard with, this virus right now, with people losing their lives.
Oh, that's absolutely right. And this being the manufacturing community, a lot of people work in the manufacturing industry. Of course, not all of them are open, and then a lot of them are laid off. And
Yeah.
restaurant business depends on people coming out, and groceries, for example. I know a couple of groceries, they actually shut down. They didn't want to take any chances of, so they just open maybe like once a week or something, just so that people have a chance to buy stuff. Because everybody is taking very seriously, at least the store owners. Restaurants are closed. I know clinics are open to some extent. It's not open. It's by appointment only. Most of them that I know of. Unless you really have a reason to go. Most of these are being done over the phone. So this community gets affected really negatively, layoff, and then who knows when they will be called back, and then they have families to support. Uh, so it's really a worrisome situation for the community, Hamtramck, and then if Detroit suffers, Hamtramck suffers with it.
Of course, yeah, and one of my favorite things of living in Hamtramck, as I live here now, is experiencing Ramadan and Eid in the community, and I think it's going to be very different this year.
It is.
Yeah,
It is going to be different, just like Easter today,
yeah,
Easter Sunday. It's although people are trying to make the best of it. The Ramadan is going to be a month long. It starts in, I think, in about 10, 12 days.
yeah,
Um, so it's going to be different. Taraweeh, people actually socialize during Taraweeh, after Taraweeh, they look forward to it, end of the day.
yeah,
And then, this is probably one of the time that people actually socialize the most
yeah.
during Ramadan, and then Eid. I mean, everything is up in the air. What might happen, what might get canceled. I think this generation is going to experience something that probably no one has ever done that before, like, doing Taraweeh home, as a community, not just individuals, as a community.
Yeah.
Uh, and potentially the Eid altogether, even shopping, shopping will be affected. Everything is going to get affected.
Mm-hmm.
However, a few things are that on the positive side, few things are happening. I see people are spending more time with their children and families, and in some cases they're getting tired of seeing each other
Yeah,
24/7. My
yeah.
daughter, she goes to the internet and finds out about different recipes, and then I'm
Mm.
actually enjoying, like, Chef Gordon Ramsay style cooking.
Yeah, you're benefiting from your kids'
Oh
creativity in the
yes,
kitchen. So,
and and every day it gets better and better.
oh,
Next
that's
time.
amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, once this is over, I have to come to your restaurant at your house for
Of course,
for a
some of
meal.
the
So.
things I don't even know how to name them, but they're so good.
They taste amazing. That's all that matters. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Well, thank you for closing out on such a light note, Kamal, and thank you for all the amazing work that you do in the community. Inshallah, things keep getting better, with this virus, and we're able to come out of it, better and stronger on the other end. Be safe, keep your family safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you, you
Assalamu
too.
alaikum.
Pleasure to be here, and then good to see you, and stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you.